so much of our work and school done online now, internet safety is top of mind for many parents. Antigone Davis is the head of global safety at Facebook, and she is joining now with tips for parents and kids to start a safe and healthy online habits. Thank you for being with us, Antigone.
Thank you so much for having me today.
So June, I know, is Internet Safety Month, and I'll tell you, as a mom myself, we're heading into that time where there's going to be more screen time even in the summer, or more desire for screen time. And it's always a concern of the kids being safe. What can we do as parents?
Every day, parents should be thinking about safety online for kids. I think probably the first piece of advice I give to parents always is to start conversations with your child early. So more and more parents are putting their kids on phones and tablets at earlier and earlier ages. I think 81% between the ages of 6 and 13 have access to a phone or tablet, and you want to make sure that you're having a conversation with your child early. Asking them what apps they like, asking them what makes them uncomfortable, letting them know that you're there to answer questions is really important.
So at Facebook, you've actually done a few things that allow kids to be empowered, because, you know, we're busy as parents too, and you don't want to feel like your big brother looking over your children's shoulder all the time. So what have you done so we can kind of rest easy?
Yeah, so we actually have an app called Messenger Kids that allows parents to have some control and visibility over their child's experience. It also provides a lot of controls for kids, so a child can mute a conversation they don't want to see or hear. They can actually block someone if someone is that they don't want to be connected with, and they can report to us if they need to. And the parent has visibility into all this activity so that they can have good conversations with their child.
And you mentioned it's important for kids to have online confidence. I think so often we're thinking, take it away, but this is the world they live in, so they have to know how to navigate it, right?
Absolutely. That's one of the reasons for the controls inside of Messenger Kids, is to give them an opportunity to have some control over that experience. You want to definitely build their confidence. As a parent, one of the other important things you want to do is be a really good role model. So if you want your child to be kind online, make sure that when you're texting with your child or messaging, that you're engaging in a respectful way, or when they see you engaging with others, that you're engaging in a respectful way. Set your house rules and then live your house rules.
Yeah, always important to be that role model. Is there a certain age at which you give the kids a little bit more freedom, or is it just watching to see how they're responding?
I think for every parent, it really depends on their own parenting style and their own child. So there may be a child who's 9 years old that can have a little bit more freedom, and there may be a child who's 9 years old that you say, that child needs a little bit more guidance before I let them out and do things independently. So trust yourself, you know your child really well, trust your own parenting techniques, but make sure that you're also aware of the controls and settings. Almost every app has controls or settings. Make sure as a parent you know them, make sure that your child knows them. That sort of combination of conversation and awareness and knowledge is really important.
If we're talking about stranger danger, we all grew up with that. There's not always a huge difference between explaining the dangers online and in the real world, right?
Absolutely. Offline and online safety are very similar. I was actually thinking today a little bit about how when I was a kid and phones actually sat on the wall, when I would pick up, my parents said, never let a stranger know that I'm not home. Well, it's the same kind of guidance you want to be giving your child. Let them know what the parameters are. Have good conversations with them. The offline and online world, it's all about knowing what the boundaries are and understanding how to keep yourself safe.
And the bottom line, I know a lot of these apps say you have to be 13 to use them, but we know that kids are on Snapchat and Instagram and a lot of these other apps much earlier. So it's more about just getting some rules in the house and observing it, because obviously the only 13 and up isn't really working in society.
Well, certainly there are many kids who are not over the age of 13 who are on apps that are designed for kids over the age of 13. And one of the reasons that we actually launched Messenger Kids, for example, was actually to deal with that particular issue. We heard from parents that they were letting their kids online at earlier and earlier ages, and we wanted to make sure that we were providing them with a safer messaging experience where they had visibility and where they had controls and where their child had certain controls. And actually, even inside of that app, there are opportunities for your child to learn about safety.
Okay, so if you want to have your kids start out on something that was designed for kids, how do they learn more information about Facebook Messenger Kids?
It's very simple, messengerkids.com. We also have a safety center for families and with a parent portal, and I'd recommend that parents go there as well.
All right, thank you so much for sharing some important information on the wild World Wide Web for June, and we hope everyone stays safe out there this summer.